Hey, how's it going, guys? Miwa here again, and it's another Pokemon deck profile today, and this time it's going to be on Duskmane Necrozma GX, or some people might say it's just Beast Box, which is not really because there's no Naganadels in here. I will post a Metal Beast Box deck profile a little bit later down the week, most likely. If not, it'll be next week. But for now, just a nice, good steel deck. And yeah, let's get started with it. So, for Pokemon, we're playing 2 Duskmane Necrozma GX. You could play 3. I'm finding 2 okay, and it's easily searchable once you see what's all in the deck. And he has 190 HP. He's a Steel type. He has 3 different attacks. His first attack is Claw Slash, which is 3 energy, which is relatively high for a 60 damage attack, in my opinion. But you can use the first attack just to stack up damage, but you're really more interested in the second attack, which is Meteor Tempest, which does 220 damage, easily knocking out anything that's 210 or below. Whack a Choice Band on that, you're hitting 250. Sadly, you're not doing Choice Band in this. But other than that, once you put a Choice Band on it, he's knocking out anything easily. And his third attack is his GX attack, which is Sun's Eclipse GX, which does 250 damage. And you can only use it if you have more prize cards than your opponent, so if you're behind in the game. But yeah, you're playing 2 copies of him. Next, you're playing 2 copies of the promo Necrozma that came out, which is really good. Because he has 130 HP, which is nice. Good amount of HP on that. Means Zoroark cannot knock you out with 1 hit. He has to 2-hit knock you out. Or if they're playing Professor Kukui, then they'll be getting knocked out. But other than that, no knockouts with this. You're using this for his first attack, which is Duck Shot, which does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon GX or EX. And notice that it allows you to do damage onto the bench as well if they have any GX Pokemon. So that's a really good attack. So good for sniping. It's a 1 energy, really good attack. His second attack is Rusty Claws, which does 100 damage plus. So if your opponent has exactly 1 prize card remaining, this is a good 200 damage attack, which is actually really good. So yeah, we're playing 2 copies of that. Next, we're playing the 1 copy of Solgaleo Prism. In any metal deck, you gotta play this card. It's one of the ways you're gonna accelerate energy onto your bench, and it's gonna be Radiant Star, which does no damage, but lets you search your discard for metal energies equal to the number of bench Pokemon equal to the number of Pokemon your opponent has in play. So if they have a full field of 6, you're grabbing 6 energies and attaching them to your Pokemon any way you want. So, really good card. Next, we're playing 1 copy of Celesteela. And this is just because if you and your opponent are at 3-3 prizes, it's going to equal to 6 and to 160 damage for that. Because Moonraker, it's a high cost for 160. 5 energies. But if you and your opponent prizes equal out to 6 exactly, you are dealing it for 160 for 1 damage only, which is really good. It's a good comeback card, in my opinion. Next, we're playing the 1 copy of Marshadow, and only reason why is because of Let Loose. It's a Judge as a Pokemon ability, and the reason why you want to play this is because this is seeing more play just because of the ability. And it's simply because it doesn't make you waste your supporter for the turn. So you can go Marshadow, and you can go Marshadow into a Cynthia if you want, or have any good supporters. It screws up your opponent, and you can still play a supporter for the turn. So you can still play your Guzma, you can still play your Cynthia, Acerolas, Lilies, whatever you want. So it's a really good card to have as one of. Some people can play 2. And it's also amazing because you can search it out with Ultra Ball or Mysterious Treasure. So it's a Judge whenever you want it. You don't even have to worry about getting a Lele to play to get a supporter. You can just search it out and play this, and you still have your supporter for the turn. So amazing card. And last, we're playing not last, but Next, we're playing 4 copies of Stack Attack GX. And Stack Attack is seen a lot of play, especially in Metal Beast Box with Naganadel, because of its Ultra Wall ability, which allows you to take 10 less damage from your opponent's attacks. And this works on all your Ultra Beasts. So any Ultra Beast you have that's getting damaged, if you have 4 Stack Attackers on there, you're taking 10 less damage because of those 4, which means you're taking 40 less damage from your opponent's attacks. So you put a Metal Frying Pan on any of your Steel Pokemon, that's 70 less damage. Meaning, if you're getting hit with a Buzzwole that's kind of like fully stacked in post-rotation, you're at most taking 10 or 20 damage with all the buffs going onto it. So you're playing 4 copies of this. And next, we're playing 4 copies of Lele's. And Wonder Tag, like I said before, stretches out for your supporter for the turn. And Energy Drive just does really good. Just punishes your opponent if they want to play a lot of energies. So, yeah. So that's the Pokemon. Next, on to supporters. And for supporters, we are doing 4 Cynthia's. Really good supporter for right now. It's one of your best draw supporters at the moment. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. So it's really good. Standard, play 4. You do not play 3, you need to play 4. In this build, we are playing 4 Guzmas. Because you don't really want to have your Steel Pokemon in your active, especially if it's the wrong one. So you need quick ways to switch them out at most, and also be able to punish your opponent by bringing out something they don't want out in their active yet. So yeah, you're playing 4 copies of Guzmas. You're playing 2 copies of Taint and Lysis. I would bump this up to 3, because Taint and Lysis is just that good, which allows you to either switch your active on your bench, or shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 5 cards. It's a really good card. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Lily. Lily's being bumped up in a lot of decks to either 2. And that's only because if you get her first turn, you're drawing up to 8 cards. If not, you're drawing up to 6. So that's really good. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Fan Club. And that just lets you get your basic Pokemon to your hand. Just a really good card. And next, we're playing 1 copy of Judge, because we have Marshadow, and that's a searchable Judge with items. So you can have 1 Judge as a supporter just to be there. But if you want to play 2 Judges and the Marshadow, then you have 3 Judges, which is okay. So yeah. And then the 1 copy of Copycat, just because if your opponent is playing Zoroark, which is still seeing a lot of play, you can just gain cards equal to what they're putting to what they're adding. So yeah, but it's relatively easy to play around Copycat, because your opponent can just play all their items and whatnot and drop their hand down to like 4 or 3 at most. And then you're in the situation where you don't want to play Copycat and you rather just search out a Cynthia or something. But yeah, so 1 copy of Judge, because it's easy to play around it. So next, on to the items. We are playing 3 Ultra Space, and Ultra Space is really good because you can search out your entire deck minus your Lele's, because everything in your deck is an Ultra Beast. So you can search out your Duskmane Necrozma GXs, your baby Duskmanes, your Stack Attackas, your Celesteelas, and it's just good. So you play it at 3. Some people can play it at 4. Next, we're playing 3 Beast Rings, and reason why we're doing 3 Beast Rings is because once your opponent gets rid of your first GX Pokemon, you're open to Beast Ring, and Beast Ring is the best card for any Ultra Beast deck, because it's broken. It's legitly broken. You play it when your opponent has exactly 3 or 4 prize cards remaining, and you can just search your deck for 2 energies and attach them to your Ultra Beast. And accelerates energy. It's good in Buzzwole, it's good in Stack Attacka, it's good in Duskmane, it's good with Naganadel, it's good with any Ultra Beast deck, because it accelerates the energy like crazy. So it's a really broken card. And the fact that it's an item, you can just play multiples and get like 6 energies onto your Ultra Beast just like that. So it's a broken card. You play 3 of it because we like broken cards. Well, no, we don't like broken cards, but if it's there, we're gonna play it. So next, we're playing 3 copies of Nest Balls, because you're only playing really basics, so nest balls without ditching your hand, you can just play nest balls and get your bases out really quick. So 3 copies of nest balls, 2 copies of ultra balls, just because you don't want to really nest ball your Lele's, so you just want to search out your Lele's with ultra balls at most. Next, we're going to play 3 copies of Metal Frying Pan, and this is a deck that's that's making it hard for your opponent to knock out your Pokemon. So 3 frying pans, have a frying pan on your Duskmane Necrozma, you give it at most 260 HP if you have a bench of stack attackers and a metal frying pan on it. So that's good. It's really beefy. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Switch because, like I said, your steel Pokemon have high retreat cost, and it's hard to get your energies back if you don't have Solgaleo Prism. So having 2 switches to be able to switch between your Pokemon is really good, and it's seeing a lot more play actually now. Next, we're playing 1 Energy Lotto, just so you can check top 7 and add a energy card from there into your hand. And we're playing 1 Pokénav, look at top 3, add a Pokemon or energy to your hand, and then put the other cards back on top any way you like. And 1 copy of Field Blower, only because we're in a format right now where people are either playing 1 to no Field Blowers at all, because not many decks are actually playing stadiums. You're playing against random punishments, and really we're in a 2-shot format where them having a choice band on their Pokemon really doesn't matter as much, because it's either you're gonna get 1-shotted or you're gonna get 2-shotted. So choice bands really aren't that scary. You needed Field Blower only because of Garbotoxin, and Garbotoxin's out the rotation now, meaning you don't have to worry about Floatstones, you don't have to worry about Garbotoxin, you don't have to worry about Parallel City. So really right now people are dropping down their Field Blowers down to at least 1 or none, because there's really nothing that scary right now that's saying you have to play this to get rid of this, because it's what's the meta. Everyone was playing Garbotoxin, and that's what made it really needable in every deck. So yeah, for energies we're playing 1 Beast Energy, because you can only have 1, and 11 Steel Metal Energies. So yeah, that's the deck profile. I will upload later on a deck profile on Naganado GX with Stack Attacker, because that deck is seeing a lot of play right now, because it's actually really good at the moment. Because Naganado for one energy, you're doing Zoroark numbers, which is 220. It's really good actually. And having Baby Duskmane in that deck, it's like they can retreat, yes, but if your Pokemon has 180 HP or 160, you can go into Baby Duskmane, snipe it. So you're doing 120 to 150 on a Tapu Lele that they retreat. You throw in Baby Duskmane into your active, 1 energy on it, you're sniping that Lele out. And yeah, they can probably 1-shot your Duskmane at most, but it's a 1 prize card Pokemon, minus you taking 2 prize cards from them. So Stack Attack and Naganado Beast Bog is seeing a lot of play. I will upload the deck profile on how I will have it built later on. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this. Like and subscribe if you like the content. I will tend to put more deck profiles out. I can do a Raichu GX profile, since right now Volkner helps the deck out a lot, and Volkner's seeing a lot of play. It's going up in price for those that need to get copies or want full arts. So I would recommend buying those now before Lost Thunder comes out, because once Lost Thunder comes out, Volkner is going to rise up. You're going to have Tapu Koko probably going up in price a bit more, because Tapu Koko's going to be needed in most Thunder decks. But yeah, let me know what y'all think, guys. And this was Mio signing out. Peace.